Trump's safe. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Secret Service and local law enforcement are tasked with that in Michigan this evening at a Trump town hall in Flint, the first one since the second assassination attempt.
All of a sudden we heard shots being fired in the air, and I guess probably 4 or 5.
And then the former president was whisked off the golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida, Sunday. The shots he heard were ones an agent fired at a suspect with a gun. The former president said on X Spaces President Biden called him after.
We do need more people on my detail because we have 50, 60,000 people showing up to events, and other people don't have that. But he couldn't have been nicer.
Well, President Biden did condemn political violence again in Philadelphia.
America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart.
The suspect, Ryan Ruth, is now jailed on 2 federal gun charges.
More charges are possible, but the government believes these are enough to keep him in custody. As authorities probe his background, campaign rhetoric is coming under scrutiny, too. Trump telling Fox News Digital the suspect, quote, believed the rhetoric of Biden and Harris, and he acted on it. Their rhetoric is causing me to be shot at, unquote. Democrats, for their part, have also accused Trump of raising the temperature.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Israel has set a third goal in its war against Hamas, unrelated to Gaza.
They had already outlined dismantling Hamas and returning the hostages as 2 objectives in this war. That third objective is now returning Israeli citizens to the northern part of the country. With near daily rocket and drone fire coming from Iran-backed Hezbollah in the south of Lebanon, more than 60,000 Israelis have been forced to abandon their homes.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Sean Diddy Combs was behind bars this morning after the rapper and music producer was arrested in New York City. We don't know the charges yet, but Combs has been accused of sexual assault, and some of his homes were raided during a federal human trafficking investigation. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The hearing will resume this hour, investigating the mission that was big news for a week. A year ago, the Titan submersible that exploded on its way down to the Titanic wreckage. An employee who labeled the Titan unsafe will testify today.
The cause of the Titan's implosion is still being determined. The hearing in Charleston, South Carolina, has been looking into the stability of the vehicle. Tony Nissen, the ex-engineering director for OceanGate, which owned the Titan, testified past hull issues caused safety questions that were ignored.
It's suffered 3 other rapid decompressions, and it's a compromised hull. You'd have to do one that's brand new. And Brian Spencer wasn't willing to do anything different.
Nissen said Brian Spencer oversaw the building of the hull. Nissen adds his questions led to his firing from OceanGate. The hearing is expected to go on about 2 weeks. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising. The day after the Dow closed at a new record high, the day before an expected Federal Reserve interest rate cut. An American who won then lost an Olympic medal keeps trying to get her bronze back.
American gymnast Jordan Chiles filed an appeal Monday asking Switzerland's Supreme Court to overturn the ruling that saw her stripped of the bronze medal in the floor exercise of the 2024 Paris Olympics. The Court of Arbitration for Sport voided an on-court appeal by Chiles' coach that allowed her to jump from 5th to 3rd in the final of the event. CAS ruled that the appeal came 4 seconds after the 1-minute time limit for scoring inquiries, and Romanian Ana Barbosu was awarded the bronze medal on August 16th. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
On Monday Night Football, the Falcons fly higher than the Eagles.
Hurts gets hit as he throws and intercepted.
That interception ended Philadelphia's last-minute comeback attempt on ESPN, sealing Atlanta's 22-21 win. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor Pritzker appointing James Jennings as the next director of the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. He began serving as interim director in July after the former director resigned. He began to the IEPA back in 2013. Former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon suing agencies in Kansas after he was acquitted of rape and sexual battery charges in June. Chicago native was found not guilty in Douglas County Court after a 4-day trial in Kansas. He was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in September of last year at a bar near the University of Campus in Lawrence. A Big Lots in Champaign closing. The store at 2004 West Springfield Avenue shutting down. It comes as the retail chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has entered into a sale agreement with Nexus Capital Management. Hundreds of Big Lots stores are slated to close across the country. And that's what check on what's happening here on your Tuesday. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Oh, that's another country fair failure. I mean, that's bad. Big Lots. What happens to Ruler? What happens to...
I know.
Dollar General's next door.
Well, and they are reworking a plan for that country fair area.
I think so. I don't know. Anyway, good morning. It's Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
It's I just had not heard about Big Lots.
Me either.
Because I have frequent. In fact, I bought, I think, all my Christmas lights there last year.
I'm telling you can get some really good deals.
Yeah, well, you'll really get good deals now with 80% off or whatever. That's kind of beat. So,
right.
So you can go out there and do that.
My kind of pricing.
Yeah, well, okay. So, again... yeah, just adjust. I haven't gone there. Maybe 5 times a year. I mean, not a lot, but certainly been there a lot. And I think Old Farm's struggling. I mean, it's not Old Farm. I'm sorry, Country Fair. Country Fair is a lot different than Old Farm.
Yeah.
The Old Farm. The only thing I have a problem with Old Farm, Panera Bread. The sign you can't get out of that edge right off of.
It is tricky.
You can't. That sign is so big, it's hard to get out. I've always been a little bitter because Panera came in and just messed up the whole landscape because they're Panera. Not great product, great people. Just
lots of coffee circles there. I've been to many a meeting there.
You go find Shape and Rose there every day, though.
I did see him last time I was there.
That's where he gets the meat and potatoes and what what the people are thinking.
I know.
All right, it's 8:07.
Yeah,
8:07 in New York, 7:07 in Champaign.
56 right now,
Yep.
and the moon at night has been incredible on these sunrises.
I thought I left some lights on outside last night.
It was amazing.
Weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, men, it's time to have the talk and discuss the pros and cons of prostate cancer screening with your provider at Carl Health, especially if your risk is higher. Go to carl.org for details.
Well, we got a beautiful morning, warm day ahead. Mr. Greg Soye, meteorologist, graduate of Northern Illinois, the 23rd ranked Huskies.
How you like that?
Hey,
we didn't
you
even
know,
play last weekend
well,
and we crept up in the standings and the ratings.
Isn't that amazing? You needed the week off because we were celebrating with Kansas till Wednesday.
Exactly.
And the Northern got to get a whole other week to kind of recoup. Hey, listen, except for Toledo, perhaps they're going to be favored the rest of the way.
Yeah. Then we have Buffalo 2:30 kickoff at in DeKalb on Saturday.
All right, and the crowd has grown for Northern.
It has. That's a premium ticket now. I'm discovering.
Right. No, that's right. And DeKalb's been thirsty and hungry for a team to be ranked. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Just on to victory, we hope with Buffalo in town. That would be the NIU Huskies, of course, and of course our beloved Illini out at Grand Island Friday night. It may rain out there, so
in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, better odds there than here anytime soon, let me tell you.
Okay.
So be ready for that, and maybe a couple of thunderstorms around, but definitely a wetter pattern shaping up over the plains and western Corn Belt, and just iffy and spotty in any rainfall chances around here early next week. At least in the heat of the day, we made it up to 90 yesterday in this dry air mass, and the longer nights readings are able to fall back quite substantially. You get up towards Pontiac, 49 now there, 56 at Rantoul, but 66, the old urban heat-line affected St. Louis. We sit at 57 right now with a light east-northeasterly wind. Pretty much straightforward here for the next few days. Sunshine close to 90 today, 56 tonight, 85 tomorrow, 87 on Thursday, back up close to 90 between Friday and Saturday. So-called fall season arrives here Sunday, partly cloudy, and 86 and just iffy rain chances. Nothing to write home about or get in the way of early harvest. That's ramping up here. We hear Monday, Tuesday high still north of 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Yeah, really beautiful for this part. We're halfway September 17, I think.
Yeah.
And 13 days left, then we're into October and Halloween and all that stuff. And you know what? Last night was the last time the sun will
set in the 7 o'clock hour or something.
Yeah. And next time we see it, the sunshine, actually sunset in the 7 o'clock hour will be March 15th.
March in 2025.
Yeah. So there you go. It's okay.
Goodbye.
Dang it. All right, so Illinois 3-0. How many times has that happened since Harry Truman was president? How many times has the Illini won?
Happened in 2011.
Okay. So when was how many times have the Fighting Illini football program started the season 3 times? You can text that in just for fun, 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. All of our guests appear on the Tavin's Towing phone line. But text me, how many times, just take a wild stab at it, how many times have the Illini been 3-0 since Harry Truman was president? Harry Truman was president until 1952.
Okay.
So he took over for FDR and then won when Dewey beats Truman was not true. Chicago Tribune, famous headline.
I was sitting on the east side and on the west, over by the colonnades and all the stuff, the press. They have all the different times that we've won, the national championship or Big Ten championship.
Dated.
I mean, it's true. But somebody was debating with me how the Big Ten championship wasn't a thing back in the day, right? Or how long has that been around?
Are you talking about how long it's been since we've won a national championship?
Or the national championship. We're saying that,
It's going to take a lot more money for me to win a national championship.
Anyway.
I mean, that's where we are. At least it's not recruiting, it's money.
Right.
You can go get all the guys you want. Then you still got to play the right guys, and they got to stay healthy.
Right.
You know how unbelievable difficult it is, difficult to even make the Final Four in basketball. And now there's 12 teams that will make the football playoffs. You hope that the Illini at some point would aspire to edge into that.
Right.
Maybe. I think 12 is a lot more likely than 4. So we've at least expanded that.
And, when it comes to the bowls, what is there? Like 80-something teams that make that, right?
No, I think there's 36 of them. So 72?
Okay.
So if you're not part of the bowl picture, you're going, I'm afraid that's the ante now. If you're making $7 million a year, $5 million a year, $10 million, whatever the coaches make, and they make a lot. Offensive coordinators are getting $1 million casually. I mean, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. But the pressure of you got to get there or you're on the hot seat. I mean, it was social media exploding on things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you feel like texting, I'll give you the answer in a few moments. How many times have the Fighting Illini gone 3-0 in football since Harry Truman? President Truman.
Hard formula to try to come up with.
Well, just 11, 15, whatever you want to. I mean, 3-0. I mean, you're going to play the Easterns. I mean, you got to win. I mean, you're going to win some of that.
Sure.
We used to play one good opponent. Now most teams play 3. You're going to win. Because you got enough issues in the Big Ten now and SEC and all these. Hard to get a victory.
359-2255.
Okay, so last night was just absolutely an example of the NFL this year. I don't know anybody saw that game.
Wow, 22-21, Atlanta on top.
Yeah, but the end of the game, Philadelphia has the ball on like the 10-yard line, and they're winning by 3, and there's a minute and a half left in the game, and they throw a little swing pass to Saquon Barkley right in his hands, and he drops the football, meaning you kick a field goal, and the clock stops. I mean, Atlanta was down to their final timeout. They're going to use their last timeout, but he dropped the football to incomplete pass. That happened here in Champaign when we were playing Nebraska, and they went for it, or on third down, they threw the ball, and the guy dropped the ball. We didn't have time. We won the game. So it was unbelievable. Atlanta, and then this, whatever it is about football, I don't like the prevent defense. They get back, just they don't let it touch. They march right down the field, and Atlanta scores a touchdown with 34 seconds, and Philadelphia loses 22-21. The Eagle fans are like, and Eagle fans, that's not going so well this morning. They were shocked.
Right.
They were angry. They were just shocked.
Battle of the Birds. Falcons on top over the Eagles.
NFL is so even these days. It is unbelievable. Good luck. You can't even pick the games. Forget point spreads. I don't know who's going to win and lose. I think it's unbelievable parity, it feels like, right now in the NFL. All right, 7:15. We got lots here to get into this morning.
And just to kind of finish the thought about how many times, Sarah's guessing 3.
Wow. I'd hope it'd be more than 3. How many times has Illinois gone 3-0 to start a season? Go ahead and make a guess since 1952 is the question.
Okay.
We'll say since Harry Truman was, so it'll be 1948. All right, 217-359-2255. Sarah says 3 times, really? Dang.
I mean, I was in that neighborhood, so it must be more.
I would hope so. It's been like 80 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Just a wild.
I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, it's early.
Well,
you're making us do math.
No,
Stevie.
just think about it. I'll give you the answer right after sports headlines.
Number 24, Illinois takes on Nebraska Friday at 7. I guess I should be saying, is it number 22, Nebraska?
Yeah, they're 22. Ugh. We're 24. The last time we had 2 ranked teams that we played, it's been 2008 since we were ranked and the other team we were playing was ranked. And we're 8.5-point underdogs.
Right.
Okay.
And it's their house Friday night.
I know, and they're good on
Speaking of evening games, I guess when we play Penn State, that's going to be a 6 or 6:30 kickoff, from what I understand.
No, Illinois is becoming an attraction. Come on.
Last time we played the Nittany Lions in 21, that was that 9 overtime victory.
Wow, that was awesome.
It was. Oh my goodness! I remember sitting in the car, and I had to get to an event. It was like Flannel Fest at Hessel Park or somewhere, and I was like, man, I got to stick with. I mean, it's going to be over in a few minutes, right? Right?
Yeah.
9 overtime victory. Wow. Grant Smith is 14th commit, a tight end from Moreau Forsyth, who is 3-0 on the season so far. So, welcome, Grant, another local commit. So we had Atlanta over Philadelphia 22-21, and lots of wins from our local favorite baseball teams. Shall we get your Redbird recap?
Probably not this time.
Okay. 4-0 though over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Lance Lynn on the mound with a 6:45 start here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs over the A's. That final was 9-2. It's a 6:40 start with Jordan Wicks on the mound. You'll hear the action over on US 105.9. Chicago White Sox win over the LA Angels.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Stop it. You're supposed to be the worst team ever, and now you're threatening that.
They can't even get the, loss tally right. They're trying to break a record. What are we doing? 8:38 for the start time on that.
2024, the Fighting Illini have started 3-0. The last time was 2011. The time before that was 2001 and 2000. So 4 times since 2000, and then just 4 times since 1948. 1999, 3-0. 1982, 3-0. 1974, 3-0. 1951, we won the first 7. That's it, folks. 8 times now. The Fighting Illini have won their first 3 games 8 times since the 1940s.
Awesome.
So this is an enjoyable week.
Yes, it is.
Enjoy.
Just relish it.
Just relish it, people. Don't worry about anything except that we're going into Nebraska and they're supposed to beat us, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Might be a little rainy, which probably won't play into our hands very well. Their defense in Nebraska, Jay Lehman tells me, is very good. So, weather brought to you by Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, it's a Take a Kid Outside week starting on September 21st through the 28th. Lots of great activities. UrbanaParks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Van Ness vicinity, and this delightful late summer spell of heat continues on in the dry air. A nice drop-off in readings at night. Little if any organized rainfall to perhaps a couple of spotty showers that may break out early next week. In the meantime, sunshine, very warm weather continues on for the day today. We made it up to 90 yesterday, 88 today. Light northeast wind, comfortable air for tonight under a mostly clear sky, and drier air will allow readings to settle back to 56. Light northeast wind for the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, and warm weather continues on with a high around 85. Light northeast wind Thursday and Friday, more of the same. Sunshine, temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in some locales, close to 90 on Saturday. Sunday, we officially clock into the fall season, anything but at 86. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weak system passing by to the west and north of us may trigger a stray shower. High temperatures still well into the 80s, overnight readings in the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Pete Olchus, Greg Solgay.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Federal Reserve's meeting gets underway today. It's expected to lower interest rates tomorrow. Amazon is telling its workers to return to the office 5 days a week starting early next year. CEO Andy Jassy says the company believes there are significant advantages to having employees in the office full-time. After pandemic lockdowns, Amazon staff were required to be in the office at least 3 days a week. Mercedes-Benz is selling its remaining interest in China-based electric vehicle company Denza. It is citing disappointing sales. Coffee shop chain Pret a Manger says its sales just rose to $1.5 billion for the first time after its international expansion. Pret is based in Britain. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley. I have a big announcement. The Champaign Ashley store is getting a fresh new look, and you're invited to the remodel sale. Right now, save up to 65% off furniture and accessories throughout the store, with hundreds of items in stock and ready to take home today. But that's not all. Join us outside under the carport every weekend in September and October for extra savings on select furniture. It's all happening at your local Ashley in Champaign at 602 West Anthony Drive. Hurry into Ashley because these deals won't last long.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
There's a new showroom at Flooring Surfaces in Champaign. Choose your next floor in an incredible space filled with beautiful hardwoods, durable waterproof vinyl, elegant porcelain tiles, and the finest carpets in Central Illinois. Find inspiration around every corner. And when you need help, Flooring Surfaces offers free measuring, free design assistance, and expert advice. Visit Flooring Surfaces today at 401 Mercury Drive in Champaign.
Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. All right, 724. I'm Stevie Jay, Diane Ducey. I'm got a Stever here I'm going to tell you about in a moment. I've got some stuff about the shooter, the prospective shooter on the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. What it should never become is casual. I mean, assassination attempts on our presidents are very, very rare. This is only the second time in history that we've had two this close. The other one being Gerald R. Ford back in 74. And he had two assassination attempts on his life in 18 days. This is 2 in 65 days. And the guy was, all over the board, run-ins with the law like 100 times, and purportedly kept a horse in his house. That's what his neighbor said. Maybe it's a miniature horse. I don't know. Anyway, he said they were a little different, but I never bothered them. They never bothered me. And then he and his girlfriend moved to Hawaii. I guess you have some questions there is how does everything get there unnoticed? I mean, you're carrying an AK-47. It's a little bulky, right?
He was in the bushes for 12 hours.
Well, I guess you go in there in the middle of the night and you can completely hide yourself.
Right.
Okay. But they had dogs out there and they didn't smell him. Maybe he went to lunch. And would they not smell the stuff? Because he didn't carry everything. You're not going to carry a AK-47 in a case across the street to get lunch. So, I mean, everything. The bushes at Mar-a-Lago are very thick. And I'm thinking bushes, okay, hedges, we can't hide. You could hide in those.
Yeah.
So he also put the barrel of the gun through the fence, and they happened to see it. The Secret Service went one hole ahead. They were in hole 5, headed to hole 6. Had the president come down the fairway in a golf cart to hole 6, he might have had a shot.
Right.
And so then he drops everything and runs, and they know the description because a person was standing there and took a picture of the car and the plate.
Yep.
And then the police had that, but it was crowded on the interstate. And one of the patrol people saw it, and they put big old heavy machinery around him and forced it off the road.
That's amazing.
And the reaction was nothing. Didn't say a word.
Right.
Didn't ask why. Didn't nothing. And they took him into custody, and they're charging him with some gun law violations or something. But obviously, more charges are coming. They want to charge him with something they can hold him with, and not have to let him go. I think both of the people that tried to kill President Ford, they spent a long time in prison, but they were both paroled. They both ended up getting out.
I see.
That's peculiar to me, too, that anybody could ever get out after trying to kill the president. All right, 727-217-359-2255. You're always welcome to text in. I got a few clips I need to play here after the break coming up. We do have a Stever. It is the Stever program where I give you money to go spend, and today I'm giving money to the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford.
Just ate there on Saturday night. Boy, is that delicious. Donnie's running a special with the steak Oscar, which means you could get some crab meat or grilled shrimp on top, which is what I opted for. And this special sauce stripped down the side, little asparagus underneath it. Oh my goodness, what a plate. I took a picture of it. They're located at 310 South Main Street in downtown Gifford. And I'm pulling up some different reviews and things like that. Amazing food and service. This one talks about how Donnie, the owner and cook, stops by every table for a quick chat. We had the fried mushrooms, delicious. I had the frog legs ahead of my meal.
That's an appetizer?
It was for me, but you could get it as a meal. I didn't realize how they looked, Stevie.
I don't know how I've never had frog
and,
legs.
it tastes like chicken.
Chicken. Everything tastes like chicken.
Exactly. So, but it's Wednesday through Saturday, 5 to 9. And Wednesday and Thursday, you can get some different offerings, too. Some country fried steak and shish kebabs are offered on Wednesday and Thursday, which I love.
$50. If you go to GoStever.com, it's available. $50 to go eat there. It's not going to cover your dinner for two, but probably go a long way for yours. And it's steak, and it's incredible. Somebody had visited Long Branch recently, and they told Donna they were from out of town. Said, we've been everywhere. This is the best we've ever had.
I did cut my filet with a fork. I know there's a commercial that says that, so I was like, let me try. It was that tender.
That's pretty tender.
We were so happy when we left that meal. Oh, my goodness.
GoStever.com. If you're not a member of this club, thousands of you have joined. Thousands. And so you can always join and enter. And I'll send text, not very frequently. Generally, I'll get you a text once a month, maybe with an offer. So I don't inundate you. But everything I send is something of value.
That's right.
So it's GoStever.com for this. GoStever.com.
And we're a company thinking of using them for a Christmas party where he kind of shuts down the restaurants or has it on the off night so that your company can take it over.
Yeah, 56 seats, FYI. Yeah, we're going there for ours. He's already getting bookings for Christmas.
Nice.
So if you want to be Long Branch steak dinner for all your people, you've had a great year, I hope. Maybe you'll have a steak dinner at Long Branch for your company. All right, 217 texter. The question is, if this was an unannounced golf game, I think it was. Donald Trump planned to play golf, but it was not on any schedule.
I see.
How's the guy know? Was he a guy that hung out there occasionally? Or how would he have known that?
Or was there an inside
Well, exactly.
story?
I mean, you have to really get to some of this. Who tipped him off? Also, MSNBC doesn't generally have a camera on the president golfing. Why did they, inexplicably on that day, have a camera on the golf cart and President Trump? I don't think MSNBC does that very often. Anyway, there's all kinds of conspiracies that come when you don't have all the answers. So you got to find out if this guy is going to talk. And I don't think, but he's been interviewed before. You can go find him interviewed because he was a pro-Ukraine and wanted to form an army to go help Ukraine. That's who we're dealing with a ton of weapons, presumably good with weapons too. And so unbelievable that we were talking about another assassination attempt on our former president, Donald Trump. And, some of the comments out there have been pretty despicable, as you can imagine, in this day and age. Mm-hmm. But we have got to turn that down. I'll have a little more on that. And you're saying, well, it's Trump that does it. Okay. Really? I mean, some of the things the Democrats have said, it's... I'll play a little montage for you. We'll be right back. It is 7:30, ESPN 93.5.
Fox News, and I'm Chris Foster. Vice President Harris takes questions from members of the National Association of Black Journalists today in Philadelphia. Former President Trump campaigns in Flint, Michigan, and praises the Secret Service for protecting him from a man with a rifle on his golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida, Sunday.
I would have loved to have sank that last putt, but we decided, well, let's get out of here.
He did an interview on X Spaces. There's a confession in court in southern France.
I am a rapist like the others in this room, declared Dominique Pellicot, referring to his 50 co-accused. The 71-year-old confessing that after 40 years of happy marriage, he started drugging his wife, rendering her unconscious. Then, for over a decade, recruiting others to rape her as she slept.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, the now ex-wife, says the testimony is hard to hear. She says she does not remember the abuse, but has suffered side effects from the drugs. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A contract for building service workers at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign not approved. SEIU Local 73 announced on a Friday release that food service and building service workers voted against the latest contract proposal. The union and university have been negotiating for 8 months. University of Illinois celebrating homecoming all of last week and over the weekend. It celebrates the return of alumni, students, and the traditions tying them together. Just ask Christine Bingham. She's back on campus after graduating with 2 degrees from the U of I in 1988 and 1994. Crowds came to watch the parade circle around Memorial Stadium ahead of Orange and Blue's Saturday homecoming game. A Big Lots in Champaign closing. The store at 2004 West Springfield Avenue shutting down. Closure comes as the retail chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has entered into a sale agreement with Nexus Capital Management. Hundreds of Big Lots stores are slated to close. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. We check your weather, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvement, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, and outdoor living. Visit kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And this delightful late summer spell of heat continues on in the dry air. A nice drop-off in readings at night. Little if any organized rainfall to perhaps a couple of spotty showers that may break out early next week. In the meantime, sunshine, very warm weather continues on for the day today. We made it up to 90 yesterday, 88 today. Light northeast wind, comfortable air for tonight under a mostly clear sky, and drier air will allow readings to settle back to 56. Light northeast wind for the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, and warm weather continues on with a high around 85. Light northeast wind Thursday and Friday, more of the same. Sunshine, temperatures to the upper 80s to around 90 in some locales, close to 90 on Saturday. Sunday, we officially clock into the fall season, anything but at 86. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weak system passing by to the west and north of us may trigger a stray shower. High temperatures still well into the 80s, overnight readings in the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Pete Olchis, Greg Solgay.
Golden Nugget Casino is your winning destination for fun and fortune. Since our grand opening, we paid out over $23 million in jackpots to more than 10,000 winners. In July, more than 800 guests won jackpots totaling over $2 million. Golden Nugget Casino, the best place to win. Located just off I-74 at the Illinois-Indiana border in Danville. Not valid for any participant of the Illinois Gaming Board statewide voluntary self-exclusion program. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tim Onstadt, Gale Ferrex Trucking, Dedicated Diesel. How is everything at Dedicated Diesel and Dixie Chopper?
Well, Dedicated Diesel is going great guns. A couple weeks ago, Donna put in an order for some new machines. We got some great fall deals. We've sold most of the inventory, so we got in a new shipment. We've got new Classics, Blackhawks, Excaliburs, Eagles, Z2, and the new Falcon. That is a nice mower.
So when people try it and get on it, I bet the higher percentage buys them, probably feeling the handling and everything.
Yeah, it's hard to go back to something else once you've driven a Dixie Chopper. And that Falcon seat is the most comfortable mower seat I've ever been on. It is incredible. The Falcon, we've got a great deal on that for $7,000. The introductory price is $9,000 on it, and we're going to get rid of them as fast as we can. But that's a 60-inch deck on that Falcon, so you can do residential, commercial, cut a lot of lawn with that.
Yeah, by the way, Tim and
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our
Tim and Donna Onstadt did that wedding I told you about.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Yeah. And it went really well.
Okay.
250 people.
Right. Lots of guests.
And yeah, he did get questions. Will you do my wedding?
Uh-huh.
And he said, we're retired.
Right. And see, I'm the same way as I DJ in this stage of life. I'm trying to step away, but I do have one coming up on Friday. So fun. But, he was doing brisket and
mac and cheese.
Yes. Yeah. And it went over the side. If you ever want to go back to our podcast on Thursdays at StevieJay.com, you can bring up that recipe or all of his tips as our grill mastering and chef, cook, whatever you want to call it. He's fantastic.
Okay, if you listen to us, you probably know a lot of what I'm about to say. If you don't listen to us and you're probably just trying to pick out stuff that I said that you can be mad about.
No, people don't do that.
Remember, never hate anybody, because hate is like taking poison and expecting somebody else to die.
Well, and sometimes I'll get a text saying, I can't believe blah, blah, blah. And it's like, really? And then they say, why don't you talk more about the positive things?
Let's just talk about joy. And I'm all about joy, and I'm all about being positive.
We just want you to get the full
there's
picture.
Just important things here that you need to just be aware of. And certainly everything is Donald Trump's fault. Everything. He's the guy that stimulates violence. He's the guy that's the danger to democracy. He's the Hitler. As we said yesterday, when people hear politicians speak, half of the people are half-cocked anyway. Mm-hmm. They're not mentally stable. Mm-hmm. And so to go out and get the big bad, by the way, the guy that allegedly had a Kamala Harris bumper sticker on his truck. Anyway, I think he was actually a former Trump supporter. So anyway, this was a sick man. I think you have to be sick by definition to do anything like this. But as far as, getting up in their face and this started with Ellen. It didn't start with Ellen. This is a clip from Ellen, who's not on the air anymore, right?
Right.
And Kamala running for president last time.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish. I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be. That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Kristen Walker, how do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
When they go low, we kick.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Okay, so
that was Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna.
God,
right after Trump was inaugurated.
Unbelievable.
So
all of that is unbelievable.
It's not a very good sound. I mean, again, the president of the United States wanting to take him behind the school.
Right.
What does that tell a kid?
I know.
Who's kind of a bully anyway? It just is.
Yeah, and listen, this is an okay way to solve issues because the president said it.
I mean, and
what?
and certainly Donald Trump is different from the standpoint of a politician when he says they're the worst president of our lifetime. They're destroying our country, but to call them a danger to democracy and Hitler and things like that. And listen, there are people that just aren't that unhappy about an attempt on his life, which is hard to understand. Again, I think we're kind of lost a lot of our mental capacity if you're not absolutely shocked and horrified by people using political violence. It's nobody in their right mind, is probably the way I should say it. Nobody in their right mind would ever want that, but there are some that sadly do.
I feel like I'm in my right mind, and you just playing that 1 minute clip gets me worked up.
Well, it's a shame. It really is.
Imagine people who consume this all the time.
No, it's not good because, becoming infamous is something. For these people that have no life and no hope, they can become famous for killing a president.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of guns out there. We know that. And there's a lot of access to guns with people that shouldn't have them. But you said the last time in Butler, Pennsylvania, we're going to dial it down. That lasted about an hour. All right, so one more thing before we move on here this morning. John Stossel, I think I played this before, but it is really a heck of a picture of Kamala Harris. And I think John Stossel, no Donald Trump fan, as you'll hear at the very end.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Who is Kamala Harris? She won't hold news conferences and rarely takes questions from reporters. Instead, she reads the same speech off teleprompter again and again.
The path to the White House runs right through this state.
Her campaign also releases carefully produced videos.
We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead.
That would be good. But would Harris's policies allow that? America's on track to bankruptcy.
The vice president votes in the affirmative.
Harris repeatedly casts tie-breaking votes to spend more of your money.
Unlocking the ability to pass a COVID relief package without Republican votes.
Last election, I ran a game show that compared candidates' spending plans. It found that Trump and Biden wanted to increase spending by more than $200 billion. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders by trillions. But I was surprised that the biggest spending plans came from Kamala Harris. Her proposals would have exploded our debt.
The highest inflation in 41 years.
Biden's irresponsible spending ignited nasty inflation. Imagine what inflation would be like if Harris had been president. In her first policy speech, she's proposed almost $2 trillion in new spending.
Provide first-time home buyers with $25,000.
And $2 trillion small compared to what she wanted to do during COVID. Give every American $2,000 a month. That would have cost $21 trillion. She's also endorsed eliminating private health insurance, having government take it all over. Even CNN anchors seemed puzzled.
So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Well, listen, the idea is that everyone gets access to medical care.
Now her campaign says she no longer supports entirely government-run health care. She's flip-flopped on other issues.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
No question, she told CNN. But now Harris wants votes in Pennsylvania, where fracking provides jobs. Her campaign now says she won't ban fracking. And they even say Republicans claiming she wanted a fracking ban is false, an obvious attempt to distract. But what's false? That's what she said.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
She also wanted to force gun owners to sell their guns to the government.
I support a mandatory buyback program.
Mandatory. But again, today,
a Harris campaign spokesperson tells us that the vice president would no longer require this.
So who is the real Kamala Harris? She used to brag about being a tough prosecutor against even the smallest offenses.
I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
But then when progressives said abolish the police, she flip-flopped. And during the George Floyd riots, when people were looting and setting fires, Harris tweeted, help post bail for those protesting. Now that the policing pendulum has swung back, she again brags about locking people up.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
During the 2019 Democratic debate, Tulsi Gabbard pointed out her hypocrisy.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
That was true.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in college,
I inhale. I did inhale.
Okay.
Another criticism of Harris is that she's nasty to people who work for her.
Incredibly, there's been a 92% turnover on her staff.
Politico called her office abusive, an unhealthy environment. Now, if she were a hard-charging boss who got results, that might be okay. But we know what happened when Biden put her in charge of the border.
More than 302,000 migrants crossed the southern border.
Of course more people crossed. Harris promised them free stuff.
Medicare for all to people who are in this country illegally?
I am opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public education or public health, period.
Today, the legacy media want to protect Harris because they hate Trump so much. They were more honest when Harris ran against other Democrats.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah, well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
GovTrack's ranking of Harris was up on their site for 5 years. But once it looked like she would get the nomination, they deleted the page. When questioned about it, they said, votes from one legislative session are not sufficient to create a reliable portrait.
what can be unburdened by what has been.
Harris needs this media cover because she says weird things.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
And radical things.
Yes, we do talk about equity. We actually believe it is a good principle.
Equality and equal opportunity aren't good enough, she says.
There's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
So we need more government redistribution.
Everybody should end up in the same place.
Finally, Harris embraces the word woke.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
What's so funny about woke?
Cause a lot of us to be woke.
She is the favorite to be our new president?
And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
It's upsetting that this big government opportunist and this crass egomaniac are our choices. The good news is that America's founders wisely created checks on executive power. Foolish media often say, the president runs the country.
Run the country.
Run this country.
The worst person possible is running the country.
But the president runs just one of 3 branches of government, each of which was designed to be able to stop the other from doing something crazy. The founders demanded limited government because they'd seen the damage done by tyrants. With these 2 candidates, I'm grateful for those limits on executive power. I sure hope they stick.
Yeah, John Stossel. I mean, what a picture. What a capture of the whole thing. And there you go. And he always has evidence of everything he says. And he's a libertarian. He's not a Republican or a Democrat. Good stuff. 748-217-359-2255. You want to jump on the Fisher National Bank text line.
Actually, someone is saying, why don't you play a montage of all the awful things Trump has said?
Show me where that is, and I would be happy to. Because there's nothing like that across the board. No media, nothing like that. But find it, please, and let me know where.
Okay.
Because it is readily and widespread that those comments are out there every single day. And it's more of an extreme to me when you call a man Adolf Hitler than somebody wants. If you knew Adolf Hitler was going to run this country and you were somebody that was in the Holocaust, would you try and kill him? You'd want him dead, wouldn't you? Of course you would. If you was a Holocaust survivor and you really believe Adolf Hitler, people don't hear the words the same. They're not mentally fit. A lot of this country isn't. You got to be careful. Donald Trump has said bad things too, but not to the extent and as widespread of the Nancy Pelosi's across the board. Find somebody in the Senate or the House that has been as bad as Nancy Pelosi in some of the verbiage, tearing up the State of the Union behind the president. She tore up the State of the Union. How disrespectful. Not fit for that office. Thank you. Check your sports in a Cardinal wrap here.
Okay. Yeah, Cardinals win 4-0 over Pittsburgh. Here's your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and last night the Cardinals beat Paul Skeens for the second time this year. He's 10-3, 2 losses to the Cardinals, 1 to the Dodgers, and the Cardinals were able to work the pitch count up on him.
Skeens did not disappoint. He was really good, but the Cardinals did just that. They were able to get a run against him, and Andre Pallante matched him. Andre Pallante actually better than him. He had 8 punch-outs, Pallante did, and that was a career high, tying a career high, and the Cardinals got a RBI single from Nolan Arenado off of Skeens, and that led them to the 4-0 victory.
But on the bases, it was Burleson annoying Skeens to the point where Skeens had a third disengagement for a balk that set up the first Cardinal run.
That's how he got into scoring position for Arenado, a big part of the game.
The Cardinals won 4-0 last night, and tonight it's Lance Lynn against lefty Bailey Falter. We're on the air at 5:50. Ricky has the lineups at 6:35. I'll bring you the first pitch at 6:45 as the Cardinals try to make it 2 in a row on their final homestand of 2024.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Cubs over the A's 9-2. 6:40 start for that series to continue over on US 105.9. And we had Atlanta over Philadelphia 22-21 in Monday Night Football.
Yeah, pretty good. All right, 7:51. Weather this morning brought to you by Busey. For over 155 years, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. And this delightful late summer spell of heat continues on in the dry air. A nice drop-off in readings at night. Little if any organized rainfall to perhaps a couple of spotty showers that may break out early next week. In the meantime, sunshine, very warm weather continues on for the day-to-day. We made it up to 90 yesterday, 88 today. Light northeast wind, comfortable air for tonight under a mostly clear sky, and drier air will allow readings to settle back to 56. Light northeast wind for the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, and warm weather continues on with a high around 85. Light northeast wind Thursday and Friday, more of the same. Sunshine, temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in some locales, close to 90 on Saturday. Sunday we officially clock into the fall season, anything but at 86. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weak system passing by to the west and north of us may trigger a stray shower. High temperatures still well into the 80s, overnight readings in the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Well, it's our veterinarian friend, Dr. Todd Likens, the pet pro at Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. How are you, sir?
We're doing good this morning.
Well, how's the herd or the flock or whatever we would call a group of white
The herd is peaceful today. They've developed a group affinity for eating dirt, which is, if anybody's got any good cures for that, I'll take advice on that.
Well, I think that's how Charlie got blasto, that horrible thing.
Sniffing it, yes. I mean, we've got a lot of bowls out here, which creates interesting smells in the ground.
Man.
And so now my latest trick of my dogs is they're eating dirt, and I have yet to figure out a way to get them to stop.
Why would a dog like to eat dirt?
Right.
Can you explain that?
Or are there worms? Are they going after a snake or something that was in
there?
It's
all over. I've got 1 million holes in my yard now. So from them taking
So I would not.
Somebody started something.
I would not set up a Sandlot baseball game in your backyard. However,
no. And it's good for making cruciate injuries out here. If you want your dog to have a cruciate surgery, come see me.
And that's like blowing a knee out for a dog.
Right.
We did that when Charlie was chasing
see that hole. Darn it.
Charlie was chasing squirrels when that happens.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in the literature always talks about nutritional deficiencies, but they're on high quality foods. I just can't believe they're nutritionally missing something. So I think it's a bad habit type thing from digging from the bowls, and just something I got to figure out how to break.
Todd, what do you think of Farmer's Dog and some of the premium places you can get really nice food? Is that worth it? Is it good nutrition?
Oh, yeah, we were looking, we love the online prepared meal where you cook it yourself. So you don't have to go to the store and everything's in the right portions. We're doing it for my dogs now. $4 a meal for my dogs.
Oh, my. Isn't
times
that
my
much?
17 dogs, I think I'd go broke cooking dinner.
Wow. Okay, so I didn't know it was that much. So 14, I thought, wow, that's a lot. Okay, but do they eat it? Yeah, heck yeah, they'd eat it.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of these people have switched to some of they look very tasty meals, I don't know if you want me to mention brand names, but some of these have gotten very popular. And so far I'm not feeling anything bad about the diets at all. Some of them I always like to advise you need to look at not only the ingredients, but what's the salt content. I mean, one of these foods has an incredibly high salt content.
Okay, all right, yeah.
When we're talking products, someone had mentioned composting a lot of their kitty litter stuff. Can you talk about kitty litter real quick?
Yeah, kitty litter is interesting. It's like in the clinic, we'll use the pine litters because one, I like it because it degrades nicely, and it helps with the smell a lot too. I know the clumping litters are incredibly popular, and again, other than maybe some of them, I think have some allergies to it from inhalants. I think for the most part, the cats seem to pee in it quite well. And that's half the battle. They got to want to pee in it because and one of the tests we'll do for abnormal urination is have two different types of litter side by side, and the cat will tell you which one he likes. They'll use the one that's either clumping or they'll use the one that's like the pine or whatever. And because scratching is an important part of kitties going to the bathroom.
Okay,
Dr. Todd Likens, how can people find you, sir?
Give us a text 355-5051.
Gotcha, my friend. Always a pleasure, Todd. Have a great day.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you. 7:57. Dr. Todd Likens, our pet pro. We call the veterinarian on Tuesdays. Okay, we have a Stever. I'm giving out $50 bills.
Here's the person saying, my dogs were eating dirt out of my potted plants. I put pepper flakes in them and it stopped.
I bet that went well.
But if he's got
so hot.
holes in the yard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Other
training methods you can look up yourself, I guess.
Thanks, Sarah.
Wow. Okay, I bet that pepper flakes, that'd get your attention.
Right.
Okay, so we have a Stever. Long Branch Steakhouse, I'm giving out $50 gift certificates. If you'll go to GoStever.com, you can try and win $50 at Long Branch. Good luck to you. You'll love it. Diane was just there with her family on Saturday.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And it's quite a treat to me, having the drive to downtown Gifford and just visiting with everybody in the car and sharing stories and throughout the meal. And I think it was Haley was our server. She was just delightful, smiling all the time and giggling. And we just had a blast. We got there early. We like to get there in the 5 o'clock hour because that beats the rush or whatever. But they're 5 to 9, Wednesday through Saturday at Long Branch Steakhouse.
All right, so all you got to do is go to GoStever.com and enter, and maybe you win. You get an email tonight after 8 if you are a winner. So good luck to you. Okay, the news will be coming up. Another hour to go. Some more stuff I want to get on here.
Angel had texted the 1965 message from Paul Harvey. About
if I were the
devil, yeah.
Maybe I'll find that too. That's stunningly, unbelievably accurate. Stand by.
Solar companies are on the rise, here today and gone tomorrow. Rector Solar and Roofing family roots back 4 generations, living and working in Central Illinois, with the goal to take the confusion out of replacing a roof or adding solar panels to your home or business. With all the incentives and rebates now available, solar is more affordable than ever. Let a knowledgeable representative take the worry and guesswork out of solar and get a free quote. Discover the Rector Factor for solar. Call 217-281-7000 or visit rectorsolar.com. Whether it's pro or college, the app to bet football is Circus Sports Illinois. Circus Sports, it's betting the way it should be. Circus Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circus Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com.
Must be 21 or older. For Illinois Problem Gambling Services, please call 1-877-968-7848. Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley. I have a big announcement. The Champaign Ashley store is getting a fresh new look, and you're invited to the remodel sale. Right now, save up to 65% off furniture and accessories throughout the store, with hundreds of items in stock and ready to take home today. But that's not all. Join us outside under the carport every weekend in September and October for extra savings on select furniture. It's all happening at your local Ashley in Champaign at 602 West Anthony Drive. Hurry into Ashley because these deals won't last long.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He couldn't have been nicer. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what former President Trump says about his phone call with President Biden after the second assassination attempt.
President Biden expresses relief that former President Trump is safe during a cordial phone call, the White House says. The former president, in a statement, says the two had a very nice call about Secret Service protection. Monday, President Biden told reporters the Secret Service needs help and Congress should respond to their needs.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. While President Biden has condemned political violence, the former president tells X Spaces his rivals are helping make him a target.
Well, there's a lot of rhetoric going on. A lot of people think that the Democrats, when they talk about threat to democracy and all of this, and it seems that both of these people were radical lefts.
The attempt happened while the former president was golfing Sunday in West Palm Beach, Florida. The Secret Service shot at a suspect with a gun who was later captured and now jailed.
More charges could be coming for suspect Ryan Wesley Ruth. He's already facing 2 federal gun charges, which we're told were the fastest to write up and keep him in custody. Phone records show he may have waited for roughly 12 hours near Trump International Golf Course. While the Secret Service says Ruth never got a line of sight to Trump, the tree line at the club had been a point of concern for some time.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Sean Diddy Combs is expected in federal court the morning after the rapper and music producer was arrested in New York City, where Fox 5's Robert Moses reports from outside the court.
Charges still unknown, but his attorney tells the New York Times that they pertain to sex trafficking and racketeering. Diddy's attorney calls his client imperfect, but not a criminal. He says he's innocent.
Now, Combs has been accused of sexual assault and lawsuits and had some properties raided in a federal trafficking investigation. We just got an update on the economy before an expected interest rate cut tomorrow. It shows we spent slightly more last month. Retail sales rose 0.1%. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is going to head to the Middle East for the 10th time since the Hamas terror attack last October that triggered Israel's war in Gaza. That Blinken keeps trying to stop in talks that resume this week in Egypt, aimed at working out a ceasefire deal that gets Hamas to release hostages. Meanwhile, Israel has added another goal it wants to achieve in the war.
A reminder that Israel's war isn't only taking place in Gaza. Around 60,000 people have been evacuated from northern Israel because of near-daily attacks by Lebanon-based Hezbollah. And the Israeli government says getting them home is a new official aim of the ongoing conflict. Cross-border fighting escalated the day after the deadly attack by Hamas on October 7th last year. Hezbollah, like Hamas, is backed by Iran. Israel has repeatedly warned it could launch a military operation to drive Hezbollah away from the border. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A fire that burned high up to the sky near Houston, Texas has gotten smaller, but still burns. It started
after an SUV crashed through a gate in Deer Park, Texas, hitting an above-ground valve Monday morning. The pipeline explosion incinerating the vehicle, also knocking out power to thousands, forcing thousands more to be evacuated, and triggering shelter-in-place orders at schools and businesses. One firefighter and 4 others reported injured. The flow of natural gas liquids has been shut off, but Harris County officials say 20 miles of pipeline between 2 closed valves need to burn off before the fire will stop. Authorities not seeing any preliminary evidence that this is a coordinated or terrorist attack. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the Dow could rise again. Stock futures are higher the day after the Dow closed at a record high. On Monday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons on a late touchdown beat the Philadelphia Eagles 22-21. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Big Lots in Champaign closing. The store at 2004 West Springfield Avenue shutting down. It comes as the retail chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has entered into a sale agreement with Nexus Capital Management. Hundreds of Big Lots stores are slated to close across the country. And that's a check on what's happening here on your Tuesday. Governor Pritzker appointing James Jennings as the next director of the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. He began serving as interim director in July after the former director resigned. He began to the IEPA back in 2013. Former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon suing agencies in Kansas after he was acquitted of rape and sexual battery charges in June. Chicago native was found not guilty in Douglas County Court after a 4-day trial in Kansas. He was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in September of last year at a bar near the University of Campus in Lawrence. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5, 8:06, second hour. Here we go. We check our weather. Our meteorologist is Greg Soye, who says it might be a little wet in Lincoln, Nebraska. 7 p.m. Friday night, maybe, huh?
Yeah, some showers around. There might be a thunderstorm in spots somewhere into the eastern plains, western Corn Belt. I don't think these will be terribly consistent and continuous, but around the ballpark there for Illinois and Nebraska. And that's pretty much the way it goes. Wet on the plains. Hot late summer pattern that continues around here. And boy, the Carolinas getting a bunch of rain with a system that was last week Francine kind of redeveloped over the open waters off the Gulf Stream and the Outer Banks, then moving back westward. And that's just putting a whole logger jam of weather systems. They're not moving. So where we sit is where we sit here for the foreseeable future with plenty of late season warmth and probably a pickup on combine rolling out there, I'm sure, with harvest here in the days to come, if you're not doing so already. And at least in the comfortable air, the drier air, readings have fallen back very nicely at night. 63, Willard and Savoy, 59 at Rantoul. So warm to hot days, pleasant nights, the story going forward here over the next 5 to 7. We'll head towards an afternoon high today, flirting with 90 over parts of the area. Lots of sunshine, light wind, clear tonight, but comfortable coming off the heat. 56 tomorrow, so mostly sunny, warm days worth of weather at 85. 87 on Thursday, upper 80s to near 90 Friday and Saturday. So-called fall season arrives here Sunday with a partly cloudy high of 86 degrees, maybe a stray rain shower or two Monday and Tuesday next week. High temperatures still north of 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, 8:08 in Champaign-Urbana. Always welcome to text us at 217-359-2255. Enjoy this week of Illinois football 3-0. It's only happened 8 times since 1951.
Right.
So let's just enjoy it, soak it up. Yeah, as Brett said against Central Michigan, wasn't pretty. We still won, still covered.
Right.
For those that gamble. 30 to whatever it was.
9, maybe?
7? 6? Anyway, no.
How quickly we...
No idea. Yeah. We won.
It was 30 to 9.
Okay.
So.
And so off we go to Lincoln, Nebraska. So I don't know. They have this all charted out. They got a general manager now in college football. You can now be the GM of a college football team.
Oh.
And it can pay pretty good coin.
Okay.
You don't have to mess with all the coaching.
Huh.
You can just be the GM. That's where we are. Everything is growing. I mean, back in the day, I mean, even the late 1990s, an assistant basketball coach at a D1 major Power 5 conference was making $60,000 a year. Now it's $500,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
Price of poker went up.
It did. The price of everything has gone up,
nuts.
Stevie.
Absolutely crazy.
So 359-2255. If you have any doubts about the power of former President Trump's word, ask Haitians that legally came to Springfield, Ohio, or even the non-Haitians whose children could not attend the elementary school due to bomb threats.
Well, they've
past
determined
few days.
33 bomb threats, all coming from overseas.
I see.
So who's doing that?
What?
They're all from overseas. Mike DeWine met the media yesterday and said, wasn't anything around here.
Huh.
And you're telling me the Haitians are all legal immigrants?
I mean, that's what this texter says. It's a 217 texter.
I don't think they're legal. I think that they were allowed in for money. The city manager made money allowing people in. That's why he's defending it.
Right.
Well, do you bring in 20,000? What was the population of Springfield, Ohio?
Right.
60? And you brought in 20,000 people with no place to live?
Right.
Now, I got to play this. This is from the city of Chicago. This is a woman who's had the audacity to stand up to Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. How dare you? In front of the city council, embarrass the mayor?
If you had to be stuck in an elevator.
Okay.
Somebody else is asking when you played the clip of some of Kamala's back and forth. That was John Stossel. That's an easy online search away to find that. So thanks for texting in.
Yeah, John Stossel. I've always been a fan. He's a libertarian. He said, our choices are Kamala Harris and an egomaniac. So he's not a Trump fan.
Right.
But he is stating what you'd hope all journalists would be able to do. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. She said that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just illustrating that. Remember, how many times has she said, my values haven't changed? That's code for don't worry about what I'm saying now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the left, I got you. Because that's what she is. If they tell you what they are, believe them. All right, here's the woman in Chicago in front of the mayor of Chicago. How dare she?
All I can say to you is that you are a disgrace. I'm an 80-year-old woman, and I've never seen anything like this. I grew up in the Jim Crow South, and the policies that you're passing in this city remind me of the Jim Crow South. I had to drink out of a colored water fountain, or the whites would drink out of a white water fountain. But you know what I didn't have to worry about? Going back to my community, and it would be destroyed. And everybody else is in my community but black people. And this is what you've done with this immigration. You have allowed all these people, you brought all these people into this city. You are destroying this city. And the black community is flooded with all of these immigrants, violent ones, prostitution, gangs. You did that. You are doing this to your people. You are an absolute disgrace to me. Like I said, I drank out of that colored water fountain, but I could go back to that black community that was intact. Women are crying. Taxes are going up. What am I going to do with my children? Where are we going to go and live? This is because of you, Brandon Johnson. You're destroying the south side of Chicago with your policy. All under the Democratic Party. You are a disgrace.
Just walked off, dropped the mic. 80-year-old woman. There is passion like that I'm playing almost daily now from people, just people. It's just when people, when they don't vote, they're kind of like, whatever. Now people can't wait to vote. There is some serious passion. You don't want to wake up the people sometimes if you're a politician. And for that woman to be that passionate about, 80 years old, making her way down, standing in front of all those people, you are mad. You are really, really mad. I think there's a lot of that going on. Let's check sports headlines. 8:14.
Lance Lynn to the mound, a 6:45 start as the series continues over the Pittsburgh Pirates, 4-0 yesterday. How are we doing?
Baseball is winding down.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And, I thought we were saying there's a chance.
if the Cubs and Cardinals don't lose anymore,
and they have been winning. And so the Cubs won 9-2 over the A's. It's a 6:40 start on US 105.9 with Jordan Wicks on the mound. Shota Imanaga was incredible again yesterday. Do they elect the Cy Young winner at the end of the season?
Yeah, that's the end of the year.
So I think he's a candidate from what I was seeing in the postgame for the Cubs. Just happened to stumble onto that.
All right, this is just posted here on nextdoor.com. Somebody posted, just heard 5 what sounded like gunshots in a row around Duncan and Bradley in Champaign. Dang.
Duncan and Bradley is over by Prairie Gardens.
Duncan and Bradley. I travel that all the time. Okay, just FYI.
It's Duncan in Springfield, so it's over that hump.
Duncan, Brad, past Parkland.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy, we'll be watching that. Chicago White Sox and LA Angels 8-4 with a 8:38 start tonight. In NFL action, incredible how Atlanta beat Philadelphia 22-21 yesterday. We have number 24 Illinois taking on number 22 Nebraska Friday at 7. Grant Smith, the 14th commit, a tight end, a 3-star prospect from Monroe Forsyth, who is 3-0 on the season. The game time has been tapped for Penn State. It'll be either 6 or 6:30.
You know why? Because I'm 3-0.
I see.
I mean, now we're like viewable. People want to know more about Illinois. We're 3-0. Yeah, let's go. I mean, and it's going to be nutty there at the home of the Nittany Lions. Of course, I can't remember the name. Anyway, they go into Penn State, which is another name. Anyway, they play on the road.
Is it Happy Valley?
Happy Valley. Look at Diane. Sports genius. Good work.
Exactly.
Good work, Sports Cub.
Alrighty.
Well done.
So, yeah, we're in Happy Valley, and I'm not sure when that game is, but it's either 6 or 6:30 on the time.
I'm just all in on Nebraska. And if they're 8.5-point favorites, that tells you that, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Las Vegas doesn't sit around and say, how can I diss Illinois this week?
Right.
But and the point spreads to me is just almost like, how do they do that? How do they say this game's going to be this close and then it is? Or how do they say they're going to blow them out and they
Penn
do?
State's number 10, and that game is Saturday, September 28th.
Which is a week from Saturday.
Right.
So we play Friday, then we get that extra day of prep
Right.
or day off or whatever they'll do. But
so then the beginning of October, we'll have off, and then October 12th, take it on Purdue.
Yeah. I know.
Back at home here.
They lost by 59 points. We ought to probably beat Purdue this year. They beat me by 30 over there last year. Ryan Walters is the former defensive coordinator for Illinois when we were number 1 defensively. We've got to figure out how to beat Purdue. They seem to beat us no matter what.
Oh, my goodness. And then it's number 18 Michigan against number 24 Illinois.
Yep.
October 19th for the 100th anniversary Memorial Stadium dedication. And then October 26th is number 9 Oregon.
Yeah, no worries. Easy. Okay. Anyway, by the way, if we lose the next 2, would we still be ranked? We lose to 2 higher ranked teams.
True.
So, I mean, yeah. Just beat Purdue, please. You got to beat Purdue. Purdue's not very good. And I know they're all good, all that, blah, blah, blah. But we've got to figure out. Listen, nobody expects you to beat Nebraska. Okay, so go play.
Yeah.
Let's just see how it works.
Let's do this.
We've won the last 2 times we played out there.
And a Friday night at 7 o'clock. So unusual. We started the season on a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, 8:18. I do want to play If I Were the Devil. You might have heard it, but I can't ever get tired of hearing that.
That's right.
Paul Harvey wrote this right after the Kennedy assassination, and Lyndon Baines Johnson was the president of the United States. 36th president.
So it was 1965, I think,
right
it said on the clip.
He just won a re-election. So it was Lyndon Johnson in the White House. Vietnam had not yet got cranked up the way it was going to. There was all speculation that, John Kennedy wouldn't have gone there. He wouldn't have done that. And perhaps Lyndon Baines Johnson was a little different than John Kennedy and was more a proponent of going over there. And as that worked out, that wasn't so good. It was the first war we were able to watch in living color.
Right.
And so we had all that stuff. You either fight a war or you don't fight a war. But I think we learned that. You go on in all in or you go on out all out. But you don't tippy-toe back and forth, which is kind of what we did. All right, so we'll be going to play that Paul Harvey piece here in just a bit. Stand by. We check your weather forecast with our meteorologist. He's great to have on our radio, and we love him. He is meteorologist Greg Solier at 8:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and this delightful late summer spell of heat continues on in the dry air. A nice drop-off in readings at night. Little, if any, organized rainfall to perhaps a couple of spotty showers that may break out early next week. In the meantime, sunshine, very warm weather continues on for the day today. We made it up to 90 yesterday, 88 today. Light northeast wind, comfortable air for tonight under a mostly clear sky, and drier air will allow readings to settle back to 56. Light northeast wind for the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, and warm weather continues on with a high around 85. Light northeast wind Thursday and Friday, more of the same. Sunshine, temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in some locales, close to 90 on Saturday. Sunday, we officially clock into the fall season, anything but at 86. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weak system passing by to the west and north of us may trigger a stray shower. High temperatures still well into the 80s, overnight readings in the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Oh, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Americans are still spending. Retail sales rose 0.1% in August, though that increase was weaker than anticipated. July's reading was revised higher to an increase of 1.1%. The month included Amazon's Prime Day and competing sales. Consulting firm Deloitte is estimating a more modest increase in retail sales for the holiday season. The Federal Reserve's meeting is today and tomorrow. It is expected to lower interest rates at the end of the meeting. Intel shares are up more than 7%. It will make artificial intelligence chips for Amazon Web Services, and it will make chips for the Defense Department. And Microsoft is buying back up to $60 billion worth of stock and is raising its dividend. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda, invested in you.
Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against the Saints. Then, in America's Game of the Week, Lamar and the Ravens take on Dak and the Cowboys.
Touchdown, Dallas!
It's a huge doubleheader, Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area.
We're bringing the thunder to football. Fox Weather is storming the field with the risk of weather impact on the hottest NFL games this season. Listen to Storming the Field every Friday on FoxNewsPodcasts.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Celebrating 70 years of excellence, the University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been a cornerstone of law enforcement training since 1955. To mark the milestone in 2025, there's exciting community outreach events and unveiling plans to modernize the training facilities. Discover how PTI is evolving and how you can support the future of police training. Visit pti.illinois.edu for details, upcoming events, and donation opportunities. University of Illinois Police Training Institute, also on Facebook and Instagram.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Very happy and honored to have Dr. Abraham Kocherl, cardiac electrophysiology, OSF, Heart of Mary in Urbana. What is AFib?
Yeah, so atrial fibrillation is a heart rhythm disorder, and it's actually the most common heart rhythm disorder that needs treatment. So about 6 million Americans have it currently, and it's expected to increase to about 15 million by 2050. So it's a growing problem. There are lots of things that lead to atrial fibrillation, and this includes diseases like diabetes and hypertension, sleep apnea. Other factors that lead to it are an excessive alcohol and tobacco use, being overweight or obese, and being sedentary. You know, generally it's an older person's disease. Generally, if you have other heart conditions, it's worth looking for, so that there's a condition called heart failure, which commonly is associated with atrial fibrillation. So hopefully, if you have have one of those conditions, those patients are being seen by a cardiologist, and that cardiologist is paying attention to the heart rhythm and keeping an eye on things to look for the development of atrial fibrillation.
To learn more, visit osfhealthcare.org.
Save big at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Browse a huge display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, swim spas, and saunas from major brands at up to 50% off. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Immediate delivery is available, financing is available, and show admission is free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Visit hottubshow.com. That's hottubshow.com.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Oh, it was 1965, and America was coming off of the John Kennedy assassination, which really rocked us. John Kennedy was the 35th president, was assassinated in Dallas, Texas on November 22nd of 1963, and America lost their Camelot, is what they said. And little John saluting his father's casket as it came by him, and all those images of Jackie and Caroline and what happened to John Kennedy. And so 1965, Lyndon Johnson he was the vice president of John Kennedy, and he had just been elected. And so 1965 brought the Beatles, of course. The Beatles were super hot in 1965. Mm-hmm. Rock and roll was really on the roll. We had not gone completely into Vietnam, although we'd been around. And then it really intensified, and then it was the hippies, and then it was the, Woodstocks and all those things that happened.
And racial division, of course.
Lots of racial division.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X, all assassinated in the same year, 1968. So Paul Harvey, the incredible commentary that he produced throughout his 60 or 70-year radio career was just remarkable. This is something he produced in 1965, and it is unbelievably relevant today.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey. Good day.
That is just remarkable. It really, really is. And the day that he talked about that, talking about metal detectors in schools hadn't been a thought from anybody.
I know
1965. No, and then lure them in bed with diseases that we have no cure. I mean, that exploded later.
Yeah.
And then the foundation of faith. I mean, it's just the family. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's Paul Harvey. You can get it on YouTube if you want. Another half hour to go. We'll be back 8:30.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Some foreign fighters in Ukraine described the man accused of planning to shoot former President Trump Sunday as a whack job with delusions of grandeur. Phone records show he'd been hiding at a Trump golf course for nearly 12 hours before being spotted by Secret Service.
President Biden expressed his relief that former President Trump is safe during a cordial phone call, the White House says. The former president, in a statement, says the two had a very nice call about Secret Service protection following a second apparent assassination attempt in as many months.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Retail sales are up a bit after jumping the most in a year and a half the month before.
Retail sales rose 0.1% in August. July's reading was revised higher to an increase of 1.1%. The month included the Amazon Prime sale and similar events from competitors.
Fox's Jenny Casola. Online retail sales last month up 1.4%. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor Pritzker appointing James Jennings as the next director of the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. He began serving as interim director in July after the former director resigned. He began to the IEPA back in 2013. Former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon suing agencies in Kansas after he was acquitted of rape and sexual battery charges in June. Chicago native was found not guilty in Douglas County Court after a 4-day trial in Kansas. He was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in September of last year at a bar near the University of campus in Lawrence. A Big Lots in Champaign closing. The store at 2004 West Springfield Avenue shutting down. It comes as the retail chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has entered into a sale agreement with Nexus Capital Management. Hundreds of Big Lots stores are slated to close across the country. And that's a check of what's happening here on your Tuesday. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and this delightful late summer spell of heat continues on in the dry air. A nice drop-off in readings at night. Little if any organized rainfall to perhaps a couple of spotty showers that may break out early next week. In the meantime, sunshine, very warm weather continues on for the day today. We made it up to 90 yesterday, 88 today. Light northeast wind, comfortable air for tonight under a mostly clear sky, and drier air will allow readings to settle back to 56. Light northeast wind for the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, and warm weather continues on with a high around 85. Light northeast wind Thursday and Friday, more of the same. Sunshine, temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in some locales, close to 90 on Saturday. Sunday, we officially clock into the fall season, anything but at 86. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weak system passing by to the west and north of us may trigger a stray shower. High temperatures still well into the 80s, overnight readings in the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Pete Olchis, Greg Sol. Colgate.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Our showroom renovation is complete. At the new Flooring Surfaces, you'll enjoy a modern shopping experience in a showroom filled with the latest innovations in floor covering, plus custom blinds, shades, and shutters in an expanded window treatment area. Flooring Surfaces can help you with free design assistance, expert advice, and professional installation, all in a brand new space you have to see to believe. Visit Flooring Surfaces today at 401 Mercury Drive in Champaign.
Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Yep, so we have a short week. Friday night we're playing Lincoln, Nebraska. Brett Bielema got to the presser yesterday, our head football coach.
Really just turn the page quickly. Obviously, Saturday to have the early kickoff. I thought our guys handled that moment. We had played 3 straight night games, and then to play the thing that probably, as I sat back and relaxed and kind of took in after the game on Saturday, we made a big issue with our guys about it was going to be the hottest game we had played to that point, and literally did not have one issue with cramping or any hydration issues. These guys have really handled their business as good as any team I've been around. We made a big issue about really from Thursday on about the game time temperature and the heat factor and playing 11 o'clock and everything from A to Z, and I thought that made a really big statement to me as well. Came out of it pretty healthy. Couple injury updates. Aiden Lawfrey cleared practice today. Should be, as long as there isn't anything unforeseen, will be with us on Friday. Carson Goda as well. Carson practiced today and should be involved in several aspects of the game plan as we go forward. One of the things I've really enjoyed is just offensively we've been able to work through a lot of different personnel groupings through the first 3 games, and expect more of that to come, just maximizing our best personnel. I think last year, because of the personnel that we were in, we were really pretty much an 11 team, but to throw as much diversity as we can. And we've played, I believe, 6 different or 7 different personnel groupings through 3 games, and that obviously I think brings a lot of value for us. So we'll get those guys back on the offensive side, and then defensively, Tyler Strain came in, was a very effective player for us on special teams, and this will be now the second week where his health is up and can help us in certain phases of the defense as well as on special teams. So excited about that. Jumped into the film literally Saturday. Our leaving the stadium, we flipped a page and went from Saturday to Monday. We skipped Sunday, so Sunday was really like a Monday. Today was like a Tuesday. Just very talented Nebraska football team. Have obviously a lot of respect for not only their head coach, but several of their coaches have had a very storied career. A lot of guys have done really good things offensively and defensively. A lot of the same players we saw a year ago. Obviously, the addition of new players on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. So, tremendous challenge, one that we're excited about to play under the lights on a Friday night. Ironically, had a Friday night game with these guys last year here in our stadium. Now to go over there and have the same. I think just because of what they've accomplished, what we've accomplished, to have two big teams ranked on a Friday night game is a little bit unusual. It doesn't happen all the time. All right, to see that play out and to be a part of it is awesome. Give a lot of credit to their team on what they've accomplished to this point. I told our guys to continue to keep our focus, our mentality, and see where it can go. So with that, open up for questions.
Brett, you get to test yourself on a national spotlight game, two ranked teams. I know your focus is one at a time, but just as a competitor, like, what is the excitement? What is the vibes of going into a game like that?
Well, I think, more than anything, it's our first Big Ten game, right? It's a rematch game. There's a lot of different things that factor into it besides just the two Big Ten teams that are ranked. I think once our guys get into Big Ten play, because of our conference right now, because of the exposure of 18 teams from coast to coast, these 9 conference games, mean a lot. I think when you throw in the element of, obviously they're ranked, we're ranked. I think that's a unique thing to these guys, right? Like it's kind of interesting to see the energy that brings. For me, I really don't, care. But for I get from the outside world and from a young man's perspective, to have that has been pretty good. But I just keep challenging these guys to keep playing their best football, to play against another really good team. I think that's something that, even going into the Kansas game, I know our guys really were excited to play against good competition, right? Against defensively against a quarterback that had all the value that he was bringing. Same thing on our defense or our offense side of the ball to play against Kansas defense. And then last week, challenged our guys to keep their focus on improving themselves, not so much about who we were playing. And then this week to have front and center attention of Nebraska, who's gained a lot of attention ever since their Colorado game. Obviously very well deserved, and it's something that brings their attention for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say Kansas is probably better than Nebraska until Kansas went and lost again. Good golly. Devalue my win when Kansas lost again.
Right.
But Kansas is very, very good.
Yeah.
And Nebraska is a really good football team. Jay Lehman says their defense is really good.
Speaking of Jay Lehman, lots of texts came in yesterday when he was on the air. Of course, Mondays after 3 here on ESPN 93.5, and really appreciate his insight.
Yep. Okay. 8:41, 19 before 9 a.m.
There's a few texts at 359-2255 that ask about Long Branch Steakhouse, and that's really a Go Stever offer.
Go
right?
Stever. All you do is go gostever.com. This is done online today, and you'll get an email after 8 if you're one of our winners. You can imagine how many people try and win $50 to go eat steak. So you might.
In fact, Brian's
win.
suggesting we do 100 these days because it's just that way when you go to a restaurant like that.
That's what happens with inflation.
You can just take care of yourself. How about?
It's everything's high.
It is,
and that's just kind of what we got. By the way, why wouldn't Kamala Harris go out and just stand in front of the media and say, "Ask away. I'm going to be here till you're done"?
I can't see her doing that.
Ask me a question.
Okay.
I'll be Kamala Harris. You ask me any question about anything, and I'll give you the answer.
You're Kamala. Okay. Women's health issues.
Okay, we've already, she's been pretty actually proficient. If there's anything she's done well, is she's promoted abortion.
Okay, gotcha.
So she said, the woman's right, all that. But ask me about fracking.
I was going to say the economy, but that was the lead question just a few days ago, and she goes into the middle class family, all that. That's the answer to any question out of the gate.
The reason she doesn't do it is, what does she say?
Right.
Because she has to still appease the left. And you can't convince the left that you've changed it all, or you lose that support, and then they'll march. So if you were asked about fracking, look, when you run in a Democratic primary, you go further to one side. In being the vice president, I've learned some things. I've learned that Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and the whole state of Pennsylvania needs fracking for jobs. As a president, I can't do that right now. We can evolve to cleaner as time goes on. But right now, I'm not stopping fracking because I've learned something in 5 years.
I see. So you own your last answer.
The problem is she doesn't believe that.
Okay.
That's the problem. She does not believe that because she's as far left as you can. She's more left than Bernie Sanders, a socialist. So she can't do it because she doesn't believe in it. If she truly, I mean, you can get out there and say, listen, I've said some things that are mistaken. Government healthcare, it's just not as good as it should be. Private is better. She doesn't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And government is just like, think about that. If you have to get an x-ray result from a hospital that's run by the government, I'm just asking, do you think that'll take a while? Or
Right.
do you think the people on the other end will be urgent? No offense. You're never going to be fired from a government job, only transferred.
That's right.
That's how that works. It's whatever your philosophy is. I'm obviously a free market guy. I understand that we're a long way from perfection and we'll never achieve it. But this experiment of bringing the people here together, assimilating as one, and believing in what we are trying to do, give everybody an equal chance. You don't care if you're black, white, green, or blue. You have a shot by showing us your character. And you have to keep those basic values or the thing falls apart. And we are a country of laws, but that's falling apart because some follow some and some follow others.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got too sensitive to everything. And then we got really spoiled and soft because that's where our life is. It's easy.
That's right.
It's easy. Go live somewhere else and figure out what you think. You don't appreciate it because it's given to you. And we don't never appreciate anything that we don't earn. It just isn't the same. I give you free tickets to Taylor Swift.
Yep.
It's cool, but it's not a big deal because I didn't have to mow grass
That's how it was at the football game. I'm looking around the section saying, why are there empty seats here? It's because people got them for free, and then it was like, it's a little hot.
No, I know. Anyway, we've got to maintain our core values of we have to be a nation under God. That's a huge mistake, folks. I've said that for decades. And we have to somehow work on the family to show family values and care for the children you're raising and work on that. And all that comes from Paul Harvey about how everything's kind of fallen apart in the last 60 years in a lot of different ways. And I guarantee you our life would be better by 2050 if we had term limits in Washington. It would take a long time to evolve out of what we're doing now, but to have fresh people in there every 2 or 3 terms would be better. Louisiana's the kind of the blueprint of how that works. Mm-hmm. They are a pretty solid state right now, and they have term limits in their state house down there, mainly because of my brother. He was the advocate in the 90s and pushed for years for that, and actually ran for U.S. Senate and was threatening to run for state Senate until the senator changed his mind and voted for term limits.
Okay.
And then Johnny didn't run against him.
Excellent.
All right, 8:46. We'll get some sports headlines and some weather here in just a moment.
Illini pizza fans, Jets Pizza has been making the best pizza on the planet for 40 years. They've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection. It takes more work, but take one bite and you'll get it. Right now, enjoy 3 types of pepperoni with the new Triple-Roni Pizza for just $16.99. And this is a limited-time deal, so visit jetspizza.com. And don't forget to flavorize your crust for free, like their famous Turbo Crust. Jets, better because it has to be.
Tim Onstadt, Gale Ferrex Trucking, Dedicated Diesel. How is everything at Dedicated Diesel and Dixie Chopper?
Well, Dedicated Diesel is going great guns. A couple weeks ago, Donna put in an order for some new machines. We got some great fall deals. We've sold most of the inventory, so we got in a new shipment. We've got new Classics, Blackhawks, Excaliburs, Eagles, Z2, and the new Falcon. That is a nice mower.
So when people try it and get on it, I bet the higher percentage buys them, probably feeling the handling and everything?
Yeah, it's hard to go back to something else once you've driven a Dixie Chopper. And that Falcon seat is the most comfortable mower seat I've ever been on. It is incredible. The Falcon, we've got a great deal on that for $7,000. The introductory price is $9,000 on it, and we're going to get rid of them as fast as we can. Well, that's a 60-inch deck on that Falcon, so you can do residential, commercial, cut a lot of lawn with that.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Looking for the best deal on your next vehicle? Visit Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. From sleek sedans to rugged SUVs, they've got it all. Their unbeatable prices and exceptional customer service make car buying a breeze. Plus, with their hassle-free financing options, driving off in your new ride has never been easier. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, GMC. Visit them today. Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com.
St. Louis Cardinals beat Pittsburgh 4-0 yesterday. Lance Lynn on the mound with a 6:45 start here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs over the A's 9-2 yesterday. Jordan Wicks on the bump. It's a 6:40 start over on US 105.9 as that series continues. Chicago White Sox continued their quote-unquote winning ways, 8-4 over the LA Angels. They'll have a series that continues at 8:38 on the West Coast. NFL action, Atlanta over Philadelphia, 22-21. When it comes to our football team, number 24 Illini in Nebraska and Lincoln to take on the number 22 Cornhuskers Friday at 7. We've also got the game time for the game in Penn State on the 28th. That's either at 6 or 6:30. Last time we faced the Nittany Lions was in 2021 with the 9 overtime victories.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Jesse with Lands Underground Solutions here. Hey, we come across customers every single day that they've had 1 or 2, maybe 3 companies there and have been told their sewer line or drain line's broke. The homeowner's getting ready to spend money and then they call us, we show up, we stick a camera in the line and we're able to show them the inside of the pipe what the problem really is. Then we can offer you solutions to deal with this and now you are in control of this decision. That is Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions' mission. Provide good, honest, upfront solutions to customers and let them make the decision.
Pia's has Karaoke Fridays the second and fourth Friday of the month after 9 p.m. Get into your weekend with $5 Crown Royal drinks plus $4 Fireball Friday shots. Tequila Tuesdays go south of the border with drink specials. And from 11 to 2, get lunch with a big taco for only $2.75. Wednesdays are wild with Mason jar drinks and it's country night. Happy Thursday with $5 Jack drinks and $4 Happy Dad and Happy Thursday seltzers. Every day is a good day at Pia's.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes.
And I'm Kenoto Luga, linebacker from the football team.
I heard one coach say, give me 1,000 KOs, meaning you've got the attitude and work ethic to keep getting better.
If I get better, I get more snaps. And if I get better, it helps the team win.
Wow, it sounds like Good Vibes could use a Canana too. On the other hand, we've got great salesmen and technicians that get regular training on new stuff, so we keep getting better too. And key players like Sony get better every year. That helps us win.
The Sony TVs I saw in your store look great. What makes them special?
Sony makes movies and the cameras used for most sports events as well as the TVs we watch them on. A Sony will give you the most accurate image possible, and they're built to last.
Yeah, I hope I'm built to last too. Some of those backs take a toll to bring down.
What I've seen, those backs need to worry more about you than the other way around.
Well, let's hope so. We plan to go bowling this year.
I hear Pasadena's nice in January.
That'd be sweet. Rose Bowl or something.
That's right.
All right, 87 for today's high. Looks like 80s until Monday. We might get a little rain, then maybe 78 according to Greg Solier by next Tuesday. But nice and warm. And so enjoy this good, unusual weather here for September.
Sunny and 66 now.
Yep. All right, so we'll listen to the boys this afternoon on The Drive. Lonte and Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk. That'll be this afternoon. More on getting ready for Nebraska as the Illini are 3-0 for the eighth time in 60, 75 years, whatever. 1951, we were 3-0, and then 7 other times between 1951 and now. We have started a football campaign at 3-0. This is a great week.
It is.
We shall meet you tomorrow.
Go Illini.
God willing.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. Thank you for tuning in. Again, The Drive this afternoon. We'll meet back tomorrow. GoStever.com if you'd like me to give you $50 to eat at Long Branch in Gifford. And thank you for listening. Have a great Tuesday. We'll meet you tomorrow.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Save big at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Browse a huge display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, swim spas, and saunas from major brands at up to 50% off. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Immediate delivery is available, financing is available, and show admission is free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Visit hottubshow.com. That's hottubshow.com.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Love calzones? Jet's Pizza in Champaign is offering their calzone-style boats for just $8.99. Available online only at jetspizza.com with code C1. All of their boats typically feed 2 people. Just apply coupon code C1 at checkout to take advantage of the deal. Your deli boat of choice or one-topping jet boat for $8.99. Pickup or delivery. Jets. Better because it has to be.
When your pipes are in a pinch and your drains are feeling the strain, who do you call? The plumbing pros, of course. At Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, they're your reliable partners in all things plumbing. From leaky faucets to clogged drains, they can get any problem you have cleaned up and taken care of. Their licensed plumbers are on call 24/7, ready to swoop in and save the day whenever a plumbing emergency strikes. Don't let a plumbing problem ruin your day. Call at 217-841-4728 or visit them online at dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
You've heard about the doggy bag, right? From Bulldog Disposal Muhammad, a 6 cubic yard canvas bag that can be used for easy cleanup instead of a big dumpster. The one-time use bag is now available and you can save the delivery charge. Get the doggy bag at Do It Best Hardware in Champaign at 107 West Springfield. So fill up the bag, call Bulldog Disposal, have it disposed of, and you'll be organized. Go to bulldoggybag.com for all the details. That's bulldoggybag.com.
At ETHOS.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.